Yo, we are back, man. Chakra Nova, episode 14. We're back, but we're not looking back. That's the title of this episode. So we're going full-fledged, full throttle into the future with our conversation, with our understanding. As usual, got the usual suspects with me. Got my boy Prime Harmony. Got my boy Jeff Elijah. And of course, last but not least, got my homeboy Sacred Serpent. And of course, we here to just talk about this activation. We here as spiritual men holding a spiritual conversation. And we going to keep it regular, too. We not going to hit you with the mumbo jumbo about Egypt. Because we ain't, unless y'all been there on vacation, you know, we probably been there on a past life. But, you know, until we do the research, we just not going to talk about stuff, you know. Or if we had the psychic experience. But in general, we just regular folk, just like y'all, enjoying our life or sometimes not enjoying our life. But look, man, I feel like this spiritual community has gotten so sensationalized with a bunch of mumbo jumbo that I'm sure people have reached a point where they cannot turn back. They have completely vested into their mumbo jumbo that they will continue to spew mumbo jumbo. And as an audience, I'm sure you're listening to it like, now, what the fuck is happening, and what the hell are they talking about? And I promise you, if at any point in time we sound like y'all don't understand what we're saying, please correct us in the chat. Please let us know. Y'all brothers is being way too deep, and we don't understand. Because y'all is not doing that to these other people. Y'all letting them run buckshot, run wild with the mumbo jumbo, corny, weird rhetoric. And it's getting out of control, family. Everything should be able to be explained to a 7-year-old, or you just need to not say it. But I have some well-learned individuals, and I need them to introduce themselves and tell us why you mad or tell us why you happy.
I'm Prime Harmonic. I also go by Will. I am an engineer and a scientist. I have a doctorate and I study hard. But at the same time, I understand that book knowledge is not life knowledge. So, you know, my journey is with spirit. And I try to make sure that everything I learn, I can apply and, you know, teach, like Hood said, a 7-year-old. My specialty is like mostly breathing, movement, martial arts, and internal energy flow. That's what I'm dealing with. I can't say I'm mad about nothing. I'm happy because I took the shadow work class from Alchemic Academic on ColumbianExchange.com, and it changed my life because I learned some new definitions. Because, you know, if you out here listening to what you think shadow is, you might get it wrong, but this is a good course. That's, you know, shameless plug, shout out.
It was behind my back, and I didn't even remember. So I appreciate you. That made me happy. Shadow work is making me happy and sad. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, but go ahead.
So that's what I've been working on. And I'm feeling good because I'm seeing results. Period.
The link is in the description.
Yeah, go tap that. I don't know why that Yeah, this is Jeff Elijah. Call me either. Just don't call me mad. Yeah, I'm out here just, you know, it's a young brother, spiritual being out here just looking to be able to apply what I'm learning on a day-to-day basis. Learning and growing every day, and just trying to make sure I keep spreading just good positive energy, because I know I need it back. So just want to be here, you know, spreading that love, so I can hopefully receive it my damn self. Lord knows I'll be looking for love as well. So what made me happy is I be waking up every day, you know, pretty happy. It's Friday. You know, I got some plans. You know, hopefully I can be around some beautiful ladies today. The thing that's making me mad is I could be around them now. We doing, but but I'm happy. I'm happy because guess what? I actually would rather be doing this right now, and you gotta keep them waiting sometimes. You know, they're gonna miss me. You know, so
Yeah, man.
it's all good. Yeah, I'm thankful for the space as always.
Man, I would be up under some vagine if I was a young single man, but I digress.
You done talking? You done talking? Can I talk now? Can I talk now?
Oh, please.
Oh, I wasn't sure if it was my turn. Yeah. Sacred Serpent, Alchemic Academic, Chakra Nova. Yeah. Only thing I'm doing is shadow work, and I would say that the shadow course has given me the final implementation on a plethora of options and techniques and insights that just really flows, right? So like it resonates with me down to my core. So I've really just been focused in that, and I don't think I have a disposition, happy or mad either way, but I'll say I'm invigorated for whatever. I'm prepared to stay violent. I prefer to stay violent, no disrespect.
I need to tell y'all what makes me mad, okay? Some shit made me mad this morning, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. So, I'm just doing me on my YouTube journey, right? I'm just doing me, y'all. I'm just really a regular guy, interested in astrology, psychology, chakras. I really am like this for real. Mm-hmm. And it might interest people that I am into this, right? And I never have a sign saying, baby girl, DM me, right? I never had a sign saying, baby girl, DM me. I'm trying to develop anything with anybody. Unless you're interested in doing that. But, because, like, I'm open to the idea. But if I'm me, right? And say for instance, like I'm Panic or somebody like that, and I reach out to Panic like I love what you're doing. That's where it's at with me. I'm not going to act like I'm cool with Panic, act like Panic is my homeboy. Just really go inside of Panic's boundaries, so to speak, right? And then Panic just being Panic, right? Panic didn't ask me to be his friend. He didn't say, Kyrie, reach out to me or nothing like that. I took it on my own accord to reach out to this person and say, this is what I do. This is what I offer. I see what you're doing. I see what you're interested in. I'm interested too. I'm looking to expand. And then I'm talking to this person. Long story short, this lady, I guess I did something wrong, but I don't know what I did wrong because she just made it to sound as if I did something wrong, but I don't know what I did wrong. I don't even know what attracted me to this young lady, but all I know is that it was smiles and easy, happy go, just good vibrations. And then I must have said something. I must have done something that pissed her off. But y'all gotta understand that I am just me, fam. I'm not nobody that you should expect nothing from. Because my only goal is to study astrology, study chakras, study psychology, understand the study of the soul. Because the study of the soul is super interesting to me. And if you are fond of me, rethink that shit. Don't be fond of me, because I'm going to probably say something that's going to piss you off and you're going to get mad at me and it's going to fuck up my day. So because I'm very sensitive and I feel energy.
Yep.
Because I made you happy, but then I made you sad, and you had to express your happiness and your sadness. And I'm to the conclusion, due to the shadow work, that all of these energies were always within you the whole entire time. The good energies and the bad energies were all you, boo-boo.
Yeah.
So you know who you are. Your shadow watching the content, and you're not showing love and giving the positive energy. And it was just a situation that happened this morning between me and you, and I'm mad about it, but I feel better now that I got it off my chest. So
gotta express that.
Welcome to Chakra Nova.
Yeah.
You was about to say something, Serpent?
No, good.
Nah, I just wanted to express that, get that off my chest. I'm a flawed individual, and I do make mistakes. So don't put your expectations on
imaginations,
fantasies, kind of chubby. It ain't as big as you think it is. All of that, just let all of the fantasies go, because they don't exist. They're all within your mind, not in my mind. And I just want to be a regular, cool ass dude like I've been being, without any projections from here on out. But thanks to the shadow work course, whoever the entity is that uses me to speak, because I'm just a regular guy who was copping Black and Milds but 5 years ago. So, due to the spiritual development, I'm talking about shadow work and solar plexus energy and things of that nature. So let's go ahead and deal with this first question now that we're here. And this is Chakra Nova, so we deal a lot of our questions based upon the chakras and have these conversations that fit within the realm of understanding our chakras, because the one thing we want to bring about chakras is a regular conversation.
Yeah.
You know how everybody is like, well, your root chakra, you got to wear red. So you mean to tell me that by wearing red and drinking beet juice that I'll activate my root chakra? I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that we need to have a real understanding. Yeah. If you would like an understanding, we have literature around the subject. Link is in the description. But in reference to the shadow and the solar plexus chakra, Prime had brought it to this. I got a lot of books too, so don't make me go bring out the goddamn crack open the safe. Right. I put my Chakra Nova books in the vault nowadays. No. So no. So the solar plex is about expression and free expression and honest expression, and it's really the level up from the sacral, right? Balancing your emotions to understand your truth, and then separate your truth from what society tells you that your truth should be. Little girls don't sit with their legs wide open. Little boys don't cry, right? So when it comes to your honest expression, doing this work or not doing this work, have you guys been honest enough to really say what you like in the past, present, or future? And also, because you can say what you like in your mind, but another thing, can you express your truth to others? And has this been a difficult process as a man to say your truth? You know what I'm saying? I want a threesome with you and Tatalicious tonight. Or do you have trouble with getting those points across? And I'll leave that to the floor and to the panel. How hard is it for you to be honest with yourself and then ultimately others? Tonight.
Yeah, what's up, Tata? Yeah, so for me, I think it definitely is like an ongoing process. Doing this shadow work and chakra work, I have definitely found myself expressing myself more and being more direct with folk. I know a lot of people who have known me for a while are kind of, saying things along the lines like, Jeff, you changed, and not always, for good and bad. For example, like I remember having a conversation with my sister earlier this year, and she just asked me, Like, are you in therapy or something? Like, are you seeing a therapist? Like, what's
You should say, yeah, you coming?
not, but the thing is, nah, I'm not. Like, I just been doing this work, on my own. But she's seeing, some of the more positive things come out of me, just being calm and being more able to say what's on my mind, and that has also helped her and other folks in my life be able to open up more towards me. But at the same time, there are others who don't appreciate me speaking my truth as much, and it I may say certain things, and they just may not take it. To your point, Hood, just like you're gonna say things, and whether it's just it's a mistake or you meant what you said, some people just have a hard time digesting that. But I'm finding more just solace each and every day, and being able to just continue, pushing forward, and keep doing this work in order to be able to express myself as freely as possible. But at the same time, I know that there are certain conversations, that I still have texts on my phone that I haven't responded to. I got work to do to be able to answer, certain things and speak with certain people as directly as I need to. So I'm finding more solace in it. It's definitely, the shadow work is I'm saying what's on my mind, and I know that I'm able to handle the consequences and repercussions that are going to come with me speaking my mind. But at the same time, it's always more work for me to do.
That's dope.
Yeah, I've been seeing a therapist. His name is the Hood Mystic. Since you've been asking.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm fucking around with you, but yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man, to be in a space where, whether people validate it or not, you feel healed. And not only you feel healed, you see healing. Not only do you still see healing, you experience it, and you are that healing modality within yourself. And in tuning to it, it's a therapeutic experience, you know what I'm saying? And it's dope. And it's a good conversation for men to have on the regular about their spiritual breakthroughs, because if it wasn't this, we would be having, a dick sword contest, you know what I'm saying? See who spits the furthest, or some stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? But shootouts, beefing and stuff, but we're just referencing our particular breakthroughs. And I think, we can imagine, like, if we're not having conversations, that this thing is happening. But I think if we're not having this conversation, we're just low-key being petty jealous towards each other and not able to have a conversation. So I appreciate y'all for showing up and having these talks. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go because serpent cooking. I can see them cooking. Yeah, man. It's like with the chakra work, I feel like, I have the energy reserves to make sure that I represent my soul in my public living. Now, representing my soul didn't necessarily mean that I was fully representing my soul. So as I got my energy reserves up, as I learned to express my safety, my feeling of safety through the root, my happiness and my pleasure through the sacral, my willingness through the solar plexus, interconnectedness with the heart, truth with the throat, vision with the third eye, and just soul with the crown. As I compile and work with these energies, even though I felt like I was representing my true self when I stepped out the door, it was slow. It was real slow. And I didn't realize how slow it was until understanding the shadow work. So the shadow work helped me accelerate my energy through the chakras. And I'm like, man, I'm just on some other stuff at this point. And I don't know what's gonna come out my mouth next, you know. But like Jeff said, you know, I'm prepared to deal with the consequences because I've learned that, okay, if I get that nudge from within, it's because something is trying to express. And I'm going to do the best I can to give it a voice. And if somebody wants to fight me on it, that's cool. I can defend myself. I'm good with that. If somebody wants to laugh about it, that's cool because I expressed it so I could let it be. So I feel like, you know, if I want to laugh with them about it, I'm good with that too. So yeah, man, doing the energy work through the chakras helped me step forward. And the shadow work helped me move faster through the blockages, through the things that I imagined were holding my energy back, it wasn't no things, because it ain't nothing out there. It ain't nobody. It ain't no situation. You know, it ain't him. It
ain't no white man.
Right. It ain't the man with his foot on my neck. It ain't none of that. So, you know, taking responsibility for self through chakra work and shadow, man. Oh, man. This year, I could just feel it, man. This Christmas, I'm going to be giving myself gifts. I don't know. It's like, I don't know what to say. Do the chakra work. And if you really want to motivate and move and go faster, if you want to drive, you know, BMW or a Corvette or whatever, as opposed to no disrespect, y'all, I know somebody out here driving a Geo Metro or Yugo or one of them, you know what I'm saying?
Pinto.
Work, Pinto, right? And add in that shadow work. Woo! Woo!
I just want to say I'm not paying this brother to say the things that he's saying. He's saying them on his own accord. So just
I am.
People looking like, well, dang, how much you pay him?
Nope, I paid for the course. I paid for the course, and then I bought, you know, another book, you know. But it's these brothers, you know, that have helped me to understand shadow more so than what I've been hearing on the internet. Because if I went solely by what I saw on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, I would think the shadow was like something evil or negative. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah.
Because it's real easy to create a boogeyman, right? And that boogeyman will beat you up before you even hop out the bed. It's only till we realize that boogeyman is our damn self and we begin to integrate that boogeyman into our reality. And so we have real conversations. I really don't like you, or I really don't like the way this dress fit, or I really don't like this job and I need to do something better for myself. And your shadow is like, all right, I've been waiting for you to say this. Let's go.
Right.
You know,
let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's
you know
go.
what I'm saying? And
Yep.
I would say that, you know, the difficult thing is everybody not doing it. Like, the goal is to, you know, through these podcasts, through these conversations, get our friends and family to feel like, okay, if he's tuning in to himself, I should tune in to myself. The thing about it is that we're not creating a cult or we're not creating gods. Yeah. We're understanding ourselves and delivering ourselves to our truth. And for me, once again, having these conversations is just the goal from the beginning. Like, you know what I mean? Because we couldn't never have these conversations if we can't flesh through the information and really go back and forth and talk about it, build on it. And then like, okay, let's go to the 15th floor. Let's go to the second floor. Let's go to the third floor. Let's have a meeting in the basement, you know, but we built it. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same dudes who is at the foundation blueprint of the building is now getting to enjoy, you know, having a meeting in the penthouse. You know what I mean? And it's going to continuously be that. It's just still building. Yeah, still building and having a conversation for melanated men and women about chakras and shadow, right? Because the other entities and races, they can understand this and have these conversations, but within our community it's kind of capped and jaded and taboo. But you know, let's break them walls down. Serpent, you've been there looking like the rainmaker over there with your fingers twiddling.
That's what I said. Something cooking.
Now you're gonna have to repeat the question.
So in reference to the shadow work and solar plexus, can you be honest enough to say what you like or say what you want to yourself? I want Tatalicious and her friend, and be able to express it to Tatalicious and her friend that you want them tonight. Or do you find that doing the shadow work and solar plexus work is difficult to be honest about this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I could finally say that in the past, probably, but I would probably say now, yeah, like now it's like emphatic, like it's there, like it does exist now. Now you can give a voice to it now. To not be able to be completely like honest, and then not be able to be honest about being dishonest, right?
Say that apart again.
I know.
that was a damn tongue.
Say that again,
that was a
man.
damn tongue twister. Say that last part.
To not be able
to be able to be honest about being honest.
And then,
right, because you're gonna get the question, right? Are you telling me the truth? Right.
Yeah.
And then if you lie about that one, like, so then you can't be honest on the first one and the second one, so you just lie on both of them, right?
Can't be honest about being honest or dishonest.
Like, I know back in the days it was probably really hard for me to be, that honest. But then once I seen like the difference and the disparity of the approach and the type of attention given, so we say, the effort, right? I think definitely the idea to be honest up front changed, right? So once you get to a point that you're stern on your end because you just like, yeah, you're going to do it anyway, that might be your disposition, right? If that ends up being your disposition, then you just tell anybody anything you want, right? So I think it depends on the way that you incorporated that into you, and did you allow it to change you, or did you change it? Like, right? So with the chakra work and now with the cherry on top with the shadow work, right? Which ends up being the most important thing, right? It's like the stuff that's in fake Wakanda, right? Like it's like the final jewel, right? It's like you get to the end of the thing, it's that really shiny ruby, right? When you get there, like, this is the shadow, bro. Like, we did this for this, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, you did this for this. Because now there's no more excuses. Right? Now there's no more questions. There's no more needing to question. There's no more predetermined dispositions on what you are supposed to feel like when something happens here, right? You get to treat every and any situation as it is, right?
Somebody had asked me, who's the best Akashic record reader out here in these streets? I said, nigga, you.
You are. Right. You are.
You mean to tell me I know your records better than you, and you lived them? Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's awesome to have that responsibility to me, right? That thing is everything to me, right? Like, I love that thing, right? So there's a thing, there's another school of thought that I've been studying for a long time, and it's called anthropology, and I've been going through the anthropology, basically, of the so-called Black culture. I said I've been studying something called anthropology, and I'll say we've gone through at least an large size anthropology on the so-called Black culture, right? And it's just like, how long are we still having these conversations, right? If you're still having these conversations, there's no way you've done any chakra work, right? If you're still talking about the stuff that your so-called grandparents and so forth and so on was doing, then you're not doing any chakra work, right?
Right.
If you're still allowing somebody else to make your decisions for you, and you're a adult, right? And you're a grown individual.
I was about to say you might be a baby.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how many of y'all running the crib, right? Like you get it, So then it's like, it's not about you getting a negative report on your report card. No, it's like you missing out, more like, right? You're missing it. You're missing the fun, right? Because once you look at it, nobody else can tell you about it.
That's like somebody telling you, you know what pussy feel like? Like, what? Yeah. No, you don't. Let me tell you what it really feel like. You don't know what it feel like. Like, what? Like, you the feeler, you the experiencer, you're the knower, you're the psychic, you're the guru, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Yeah. But you tell yourself that you're a piece of shit. So, shadow work is you addressing that fact of you unconsciously putting them limits on yourself, and then having a conversation with other people, not saying specifically I've been doing shadow work, kiss my ass, but no, this is exactly what I'm thinking and feeling simultaneously to the moment. Generally what tends to happen is three weeks later you like, damn, I should have told that motherfucker to kiss my ass. That shit done came and went. Shadow work, you showed up like, listen.
Yeah, man.
But it ain't a negative thing though. That's the kind of the crux of it all,
I mean, listen, negative can never be a bad thing. Really.
True. It's catalyst.
It's right. Negative and positive.
Be a bad thing. So I really, but I digress off of that. But yeah, I appreciate the work, bro. Like, it's something that pertains to something that I could actually turn around and give to others, like add value to others. And I appreciate that. I'm adding more and more value to my own life every day. So I appreciate that. Chakra Nova, shadow work, like, it's, come on.
Yeah.
How much is that? Like, that's not even a bag of loud anymore. Like, you just paying mad money for manufactured marijuana. Like, I'm sorry. I digress. I'm sorry.
He ain't lying. That's cheaper than. Never mind.
GMO. Whoa, GMO. All right. Since y'all talking about all of this work, what it has opened up for me is the clear cognizance to my past lives. I'm realizing, right? So I know, like, I'm a white boy at heart. I was a nerd, dweeb. I used to wear suspenders. And my mom was like, seriously, Kyrie? I'm like, Mom, where the suspenders at? And I need a pocket protector. And she like, Kyrie, you going to Hartford Middle School. I hope somebody is in Canton in the chat can say how unprepared I was. So Hartford is on 3rd Street Southeast. A couple of streets over is 2nd Street. Northeast, and that's like the gang epicenter of Canton, Ohio. And I was really trying to go there like Steve Urkel. I'm just that type of person. I'm not a hood guy, if y'all don't notice or not. I just so happen to grow up in the hood and been displaced and not a place and just did not fit in, y'all.
Yeah.
People were saying, hey, we going to the party and we about to get up on these girls. And I'm like, okay. And then people would be like, we about to get into this gang fight. And I'll be like, okay. And then we about to go do this and do that and do this and do that. And I was just a tag girl longer. I didn't know nothing about nothing because I was an alien. No. But doing this work had me realize that that's because you are a reincarnated soul and you're very old and you don't got time for the foolishness. So once I tuned into this aspect of myself, everything clicked. But like a zipper, each layer I'm putting things together. And I can have a whole YouTube live at just about my past lifetimes at this point. My past lifetimes really frame who I am in this moment. Just like I was referencing that question from the young dude earlier on my DMs asking me who was the hottest Akashic record reader out here in this street. I told him nobody. Then I additionally told him nobody can read your records better than you. It's just that, are you patient enough to read your records, or are you caught up in this 3D paradigm which is going to bring you hell? You got Biden bucks and things of that nature. So, it's a wrap for this dimension and this time as a whole. The only thing to do is to tap into your 5-dimensional reality to figure out where the hell you should be at in your personal GPS system in your life. So I say that to say I've been really factoring my reincarnation in these days and times in 2021. Have you guys been doing the same? And I just deliver that to the panel to chew it like some wild tigers in a gazelle's ass.
Whoa.
That's wow. That's wow.
Wow.
Rawr. Rawr.
Can you repeat the question?
What was the question again?
he got we all tigers right now, man.
Once you got to the tiger part, I got distracted.
I know. I'm like,
what's good though? I'm about to go jump. Pull up on me. Pull up on me.
No, but how often do y'all factor in y'all reincarnation on a day-to-day basis, if ever? Now tear it up. No, go ahead.
So
all right, can I take this?
Go. Yeah.
No. So all right. So I'll start with a rhetorical question real quick. Do you know how long your DNA is?
Uh-oh, hold on. Can't hear you, Serpent.
So if you really want to do measurements, right, for what the people want to count, the people that like to count, right? They like to measure things, right? So your DNA stretches back to every lifetime you ever had, right? So that's why you have an Akashic records to reference, right? So when somebody tells you to go inside and you're like, what that mean? Like, listen, it's no disrespect when somebody tell you to go inside. Like, it's go inside. So I thought about the concept, and then like I'm privy to Rudolf Steiner, like Bro is privy to Jung, right? Like I think the Tao got reincarnated in prime harmonic, right? So like and but yeah, and the way he breaks it down from Atlantis in, like it's it's something that I resonated with for so long, and then to hear that so many other scholars stole his stuff and then they shunned him off because he wasn't going for the regime, like Hitler had it in for him, like all this other different things, and it's like, wow, why did this guy just resonate with me? I could go to sleep listening to this dude, and everything matches in to everything everybody else was saying. Like, when he ain't gotta say black and white all the time. He ain't gotta say he don't say evil and mean. They don't have a concept for it in anthropology. And anthropology is basically everything put together, right? And the experience of it, of everything put together, and its evolution. It's all put in one. There is a science to it. So it wraps up your life, it wraps up your lineage, your DNA, it wraps up the people in your DNA, the people connected to your DNA, and it wraps up all of the family members that they all create, right? So to understand that understanding, and then you think about, you only get about 18% of the spectrum when you're looking out every day anyway. You only get you don't get 24 hours in a day. People, you haven't had 24 hours a day in a very long time. Like, and when it I think it's different when it's incorporated, and I think it's different when it's acknowledged. No, just leave it there.
Word.
For instance, like a motherfucker would say, did the 1970s exist? Is there any physical reality that you could tap in and be like, oh, this is 1970 again? So when people reference the land of Atlantis that's older than Egyptian, can you pull back a time and say, oh, this is exactly how Egyptian used to be? Or have that completely deteriorated? It's remnants.
Yeah, it's remnants.
But it's deteriorated. Like, but Atlantis, it ain't no remnant.
It's like the residual effects.
Yeah, it's the residual extra dust left over. But that don't mean that it never happened.
No, it doesn't.
But if we just look at what has existed as our basis,
it's like going into a particular room for a couple years.
But it don't. It's there.
Dust in that joint. It's gonna have a lot of dust in that joint.
But it don't have an indication of what its previous glory was over time. But what I really understand and know is that the yesteryear, because things move in cycles, that Atlantean energy is coming to full force.
Accounting.
Yeah. And so how things used to be from a point that we can remember but not see is very indicative of how clear your sight is internally, and not based upon the person with the most money, the person with the deepest YouTube videos, the person with the best YouTube app, right? Or Instagram app or whatever. It's the person who can see clearly into their Atlantean energy in 2021. And I think that's powerful to even think in reference to Rudolf Steiner. Been tuned in and tapped into his message all day. So that's right where I'm at today.
And think about it, people. Just one little small nugget, right? When people reference Atlantis, they're talking about that whole mass of land that's under the Atlantic Ocean all the way to Europe, right? So, like, if this water thing didn't submerge this part of the planet and do what it did and freeze and whatever it did, whether it was dinosaurs or not, like, there would not be that divot there, and it would not be able to happen. But that happened, and it submerged your original, like reference point if you're going to talk about lineage, and if you're going to talk about reincarnation, and if you're going to talk about bloodline.
The Emerald Tablets, man, right? I think that's a good read for people.
Way bigger than Egypt, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You gotta, like, I'll say it for me, my capoeira teacher is a very spiritual dude, and he kind of helped me learn how to operate my body. And let me clarify that. Like Serpent said, your DNA is long, right? And I look at it from another point of view too. Like the physical history of my body is this particular lineage that I chose to incarnate in at this time. But in my spiritual form, I have lived in other family lineages as well. And I take that energy from those other lifetimes with me wherever I go. Sadhguru wrote a good book called Karma. I think it's worth the read personally. So to help with what you're doing, when you are living in the past, then it can't help you. When you're living in the future, it can't help you, because the future is imagination, the past is imagination, but right here, right now is where it's at. But in addition to being here and now, you got to be real with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. And if you honest with yourself, you know what you about, because you're doing the work and have done the work, then you open yourself to allowing those energies to come in. So let me give you a physical example. In learning capoeira, Angola, the traditional style, kicks, punches, can come from any kind of direction. And I remember, I was trying to follow particular movements or choreography, so to speak. And Pete pulled me to the side one day and we had to talk about it. And I was like, it just feels like there's so much that can happen. I don't know how to prepare for a kick that I can't see coming. And he said, you got to trust that your body has the answer. And I'm like, huh? And that was the first time it made me realize that I have to learn to figure out how to listen to my body, right? How do you listen to your body? You start by learning how to be still. And then after you learn how to be still and you feel what you can feel, then you learn how to clear your mind so that you can see clearly, so that you can hear clearly, so that you can feel clearly. And then when you're in the motions of whatever you're doing, you'll feel little nudges. You'll feel little yearnings to go a certain way. And you'll be able to discern whether it's your body talking to you, your past life or whatever, versus, your subconscious. But it takes practice. It takes practice. So in general, the answer to the question for me is yes, I allow every facet of my being from beyond this lifetime to be in my present as much as I can. And the way I do that is to, number one, acknowledge that it's there. And then number two, make room and space and silence for it so I can hear the answer, so I can feel the answer, so I can be the answer, so I can do what I need to do. So you got it, Jeff.
I also would say the next video is going to be on how to silence the mind, because that deserves a whole video unto itself. Man. But go ahead, Jeff.
And how to sit still, and just some people can't sit still, man.
Bro, ADHD is the reason that this whole shit is going to shit. Like, I just wish that y'all would focus on something for more than 5 minutes, but I digress.
People can't even listen to a song 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm. 2 minutes and 30 seconds is too long, Jeff. They need 152 now. It's crazy.
That's wild, man. Walk On by Isaac Hayes was like 11 minutes, right?
Yes.
Would not make it to radio in 2021. Period. Just a beautiful song nobody heard.
Yeah, don't do no compilations.
it might be over for Kanye West when he used to have 3 different beats on the song. But yeah, all right. Yeah, and to your point earlier, Hood, like I think I'm more of a mix between Bruce Lee and Alan Watts. Alan Watts was my guy.
Oh, I thought you said Adam West at first. I was like, what?
I thought he said Cornel West. No, I'm like,
that'll work.
I'm bullshitting, but I like the Adam. I like the Alan Watts analogy though. I'm loving that though. I'm loving that.
That's who. That's somebody I followed before I knew. Most of the names that people in his community basically kind of follow. Alan Watts was who I followed. Not followed, but listened to for his message that resonated with me. Just because like I can see myself in his message. Alan Watts was a white guy originally from England. Who was alive in the early 1900s. But talking about kind of that past life thing. A movie that Hood recommended a long time ago in one of his videos was a movie called The Fountain, which is something that I recommend to a lot of people as well.
Right.
I think if anybody who hasn't seen that movie, it's definitely a great movie that kind of speaks to this purpose of us being soul beings, having multiple lives and reincarnating, and you never know who you were in a previous life. Me myself, I've been not here to promote drugs or anything, but I've definitely been a fan of psychedelics in my younger times and things like that. And when you do stuff like that, sometimes you see certain things, and I know that I've seen experiences that my soul has seen that was outside of Jeffrey Elijah Sessoms. And I know that I've been here multiple times, and I've been the opposite of what I look like right now, or not even what I look like, but just kind of my being. And that has helped me be able to like I say, Alan Watts was kind of one of the first kind of spiritual teachers who I just connected with and resonated with. And he doesn't look like me at all, but it teaches.
Kinda, fam, when you kind of look to the side and just do a little tilt, man. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, we got the hair.
All he needs is that chalk pipe.
We got the hair go. That's about it. But
if you did the Alan Watts script, bro, I would be confused. I'd be like, hold up, Jeff. Like, wait a second. I think that man has evolved since the 21st century, looking boy.
And if we just simply ponder this,
if we just simply wonder about the wonderment of man, we will evolve, looking boy. Go ahead, Alan.
He just dropped it. I just saw one the other day. It said, if you stop thinking, you can think.
but yeah, though, it's not crazy you said it, but for real though,
I didn't say it was crazy. I'm just telling you what it said.
I know, but like me laughing at it,
thinking, you can
I'm
actually
laughing
think
because it sounds wild, but it's
real.
Yeah, it's the realist. And once you realize you have past lives, that helps you first understand, the aspect of the shadow a little bit more. I think it forces you to tap in, because I know that in my younger years I've been very I've been more kind of prejudice against certain people or certain kind of groups or prejudice against certain behaviors. And then once you realize, like, what is my issue with what I'm seeing, and I like I say, when I've tapped in and looked at where I've been previously, I realized like, oh, because I was that, and I have unresolved issues with what I was at any given time in a previous life, and that's something that I got to work on right here, right now, to be able to to resolve that issue. So it's not something that I will carry on forward. So yeah, past lives are real. You got to do that internal work, and like Serpent said, you got to stop thinking and think. And just be, like just be and move.
Let it flow. Yeah.
Meaning that you can't pay $59.99 to figure out your past lives. You gotta put some skin and dirt and blood, sweat, and tears into this work to get some form of breakthroughs. You need to figure out how to be silent. You need to figure out how to go off into nature and submerge yourself into yourself to figure out who the fuck you are. If you wish for me to enlighten you on you, I'm sorry, but your journey has now ended, and now I'm redirecting you back to yourself. Return to sender, fam. Return to sender. Okay, so we're gonna move the conversation from the crown chakra to the sacral chakra, our genograms. Gina, Martin and Gina, our reproductive organs, right? The relationships, as spiritual men, I'll tell you right now, I'm not a millionaire, and because I'm not a millionaire, I do not wake up and feel like I don't deserve love. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But in my heart, I feel like my financial situation has no bearings on the love quotient in my life. I feel like if I can rub your back and you can rub mine, we got a good thing going on. And it don't cost no money to give me a nice little spinal tap massage and things of that nature to get them little crevices and crooks and nooks and crannies. That ain't no money, sis. And I could do the same thing for you. Besides me, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna finish it off with a little salad tossing, but once again, no money being spent. We talking about massages and re-massages and back massages and love making. And I know for a lot of people, they're like, I'm tired of guys. All y'all want to do is have sex. But it take two to tango. And y'all be having babies like a mug out here in these streets. So, I mean, y'all be liking to have sex too. So... Just like lions. And the baby daddy don't be rich, so you gotta give me a chance, sis. Yeah. If the baby daddy done got 7 figures, why do I gotta have 6 figures? That don't make sense. But we just here having a conversation, fellas. If you cannot afford to take care of a woman, should you date her or leave her alone in 2021? Now, this ain't 1956. Y'all will not be getting a job at the Ford plant anytime soon, because all of those jobs is going to little Mexicans off across the seas. So, in reference to your hustle and bustle ass, a girl is going to be judging you for your little 5-figure making yearly booty holes.
Yeah.
Should you leave women alone, or should you take your risks with your broke self?
Oh, hell no.
I just want to know.
Man. Take the risk. Why the hell would you not take the risk? You know what I'm saying? Shit. I don't care if you making 4 figures a year, right? If you got a place, all right, I'm gonna lay some groundwork. First, you gotta be clean. Like you gotta find some water and some soap and wash your ass. And get the skin. The scrot skin is real foldy, so you gotta like really scrub that shit. You can't be leaving the shower smelling like smegma. You know what I'm saying? So cleanliness is number one. I'm just saying, cleanliness is number one. I'm telling you wisdom that women have been gracious enough to impart upon me.
At this real quick.
Yeah, man.
Nothing will give you the booty quicker than some clean, crystal white draws, my nigga. Women go crazy over that shit. But I digress.
And dudes, wear your boxer shorts. Y'all need to start wearing boxer shorts because you gotta have that freedom for your physical health.
But keep them
Right.
clean boxers.
Yeah, keep them clean, man. Keep 'em
boxers.
clean,
Is
man.
how you get it done.
Oh Lord.
So breathe.
If you ain't got no money,
Did they stop wearing it? Did they stop wearing that box?
what boxes? I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Some people don't.
They've been wearing the dark
They-
color ones to hide their doo-doo streak, Serpent. Don't,
Every time I go to the store,
you know
I
how
see
they
briefs,
give it up.
yeah. Right. I be seeing them tighties in Walmart and shit. I'm like, somebody buying them. Somebody buying them, man. That shit's scary. But no, you got to give your joints room. Okay, fellas, I don't know who's listening to this. Maybe somebody needs to hear this because you ain't had a physiology class. The testicles drop and raise to regulate the temperature. But if you wearing tighty whities, they can't go nowhere. They stuck in one place. And if they can't drop and raise to help regulate the temperature, as though if you were wearing boxers, then you're messing up your sperm count. Anyway, all right. So number one is cleanliness. Then number two, if you ain't got a lot of money, you better learn some comedy, like learn how to crack some jokes, how to have a good time, how to point out the fun in the situation. Because if you can make a woman laugh, man, you know, you can be her friend. And that's a good start, right? Even if you don't get nothing out of that, you got a companion that you can share laughs and conversation with, right? So find some humor, right? Or have a skill. If you know how to fix refrigerators or dishwashers or, you know, repair a house, right? Put up some drywall, hang up some pictures, whatever, right? Get a skill, because I'm just saying, man, you know, something, right? Get a skill. All right. And all of that, I'm coming to my point. I'm coming to my point. So the realness of it is this. If you can't take her out on the town, then you better know how to get down, right? And it don't matter what your size is. You got to get a book or something, study the Tao of Loving, Tao of Sexology. I don't know. There's plenty of books out here where you can find out, you know, how to hold your ejaculation and, you know, turn that energy into your spiritual self so that you can be a better lover, right? Because if you broke, you got to be a good lover. And it doesn't necessarily mean just in the bed, right? You got to be a good conversationalist. You got to be able to be funny, show her a good time, you know, and just be all around cool. And there will be somebody that will love you. They may not marry your ass because they might want security for their children, right? They might want to make sure that they're going to be able to live in the house and not your mama's basement, but you will get some play. So I'm saying go for it. That's my answer to that is I don't care if you broke, have fun, go for it, but be clean and study. Be clean, be funny, and learn how to love, man. Shoot. Anyway.
Man, because I'm telling you, when you broke, you always equate that to just being dirty because you just like, I'm broke. I might as well just be broke and dirty. But you can be broke and clean, and a woman will not know the difference. She'll think, oh, you clean. You must have money.
She might not care.
She not going to give a fuck if you in your full masculine energy. And your full masculine energy is not in reference to having a lot of money. It's about providing a particular experience and maybe sustaining that and maintaining that experience. So you would go further in a relationship with a woman if you could take her out into nature or to water and to things like that over a dude that takes her to a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah.
Because that restaurant anybody can take her to, but within that nature, you into the realm of nature, right? And specific as a vibration, but then the chaos realm where you're tuning in with the fairies and all types of energies to whereas it's going to hit different.
And like Wu just said, and don't stay broke, right? Because if you really doing all of that stuff to be that kind of person, to be in the company of women, you're going to progress. You're going to get better. You're going to do better. You're going to have better. You shouldn't be staying broke. Right? Shoot. Thanks, Wu, for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I think about this all the time because it's easy to like be like, all right, I don't have no money, so let me feel bad about myself, or be creative and just create and put myself in the game. And it's like, if I'm feeling quote unquote broke, I might not put myself out there, as opposed to just saying, like, it's not about money, it's about what I can create. And I make money from my creations, and I could be wealthy from these creations, but I have to be persistent in them creations, and having money is not necessarily being creative more than it is just taking you out to a 5-star restaurant, which is not that creative. But go ahead, fellas.
Cash? Nah, you don't need money to take care of women. You just don't. We all know it's a whole bunch of men out here like financially supporting women out here, whether it's they women, but we also know it's a lot of men out here like what term tricking out here.
Did you say there's a lot of men out here tricking? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. There's a lot of men out here like spending money out here trying to take care of these women, and these women like they take it because it's been given to them, but then they off on the side really like got a whole nother situation going. To Prime's point, is like if any man, if you are solid in who you are, you know what you got going, you working towards something, you can hold a woman down, and that woman can choose, but there are women who will hold you down without you necessarily being having the fattest pockets.
Right.
And you like a man should never even really be looking to go in a situation just with that mindset of that's what I'm supposed to be doing, is just paying for everything, because we all know that situations change. Situations change for everybody. From the young broke boys out here to the more folks who've been have money. Like no matter what, there are periods of time where you got it, and there are periods of time when you just don't. So that happens with that. Everybody goes through that to some degree. And if you are trying to have a relationship based on the fact that you got it and you just always supposed to have it, then really, I think you set yourself up for doom and failure.
Yeah.
You need to be dealing with someone who understands you more than just being who they come to pay for stuff. You should be able to take care of women, like Prom said. Make sure does she enjoy yourself? Does she enjoy herself around you? Can you crack jokes? Can you make her laugh? Or can you speak to what really matters to her?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know her body? Like that's a big thing. Like and not to be like men should just be out here just sleeping with women and like because it's good sex, like that should be the main thing. But at the same time, you should be able to take care of your women in that sense too. And that's important as well. So like we gotta be well rounded out here, and it can't just be about money. And women gotta understand that too. But it's once me as a man, once I understood that women around me, I think I found that the cash aspect of what I thought I was supposed to bring to the table isn't necessarily what has to be like, and that isn't always what they expect. If you provide benefits in so many different areas of your partner's life.
You hit her with the take me or leave me.
Blood put it out there.
Hit her with the take me or leave me energy. Uh-oh. The young boys done got y'all figured out a little bit. This new generation ladies, he hit you with the take me or leave me. I don't need money. I got a lot of other additional qualities besides money that you need to get hip to and tap into. And I got money too. Don't get it twisted.
and I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah, go ahead, Serpent.
So I think the real question ends up being, for a lot, is maybe, can you not presuppose me needing to have money, and if you end up finding out that I don't have any money, or I can't furnish your outing, or I don't know, foot the bill, or partake in this vacation, and you want me to pay for the whole entire thing. Like, I understand in certain cultures it was customary for the guy to pay for everything on a monetary level. But then I also understand that we're in the 21st century, and I listen to a lot of women speak about independence. And so when we ask the question, is it even right that you even think that I should have a particular amount of money financially or status socially, so to speak, so you can predetermine if I am a worthy counterpart for you? None of those things have anything to do with you. And honestly, like, that's not a spiritual connection. So what happens if we make a spiritual connection? You're going to determine, like, how much money you got in your pocket. All right, we can go. That's basically what we're talking about. How much money you got in the bank? Okay, we can go. Right? Like, we can't have a spiritual soul connection. We can't look for that rare thing. What if we connect there? You're gonna just deny that because I don't have that kind of zero money in my bank account? I'm just asking. Because I could connect to you on a totally, completely different level, and I'm no slouch, but I ain't no baller. I ain't rich. I'm just getting by like everybody else. I got a family to take care of. But I'm not complaining. I love it. I love the responsibility. This work has taught me to love my responsibility. So, like, I mean, to think that we have to have a conversation about financial gain just to go on a date is absurd. It's absurd.
Yep.
And if we're talking about real people, since y'all love these fallacy words like equal, right? Y'all love these fallacy words like equal. But you expect me to pay for everything.
I guess that was a mic drop.
I know. 'Cause in my mind, I'm like, well, if I'm going to ask her to go to the restaurant, does that mean I have to pay, or is she paying? Can I ask her to go Dutch, or what's up? You got to be able to have those conversations.
What if we been talking for a while, right? So we ain't planning to go out, but we can go out.
Yeah. Listen, bro. In real life, though, I really attract them type of women, and like it'd be like on some, they'll come on me like some business stuff, like we need to link on some business, do some work together.
That's how it happens to me, yeah.
Right. And then it's like, I want to take you out to dinner. Boom. You a businessman, lady, I guess. If I invite somebody out to business dinner, I'm paying for it.
Right.
So it's not a date. You know what I'm saying?
Business card.
It's business.
I ain't got no business card.
And then it get flipped, and it's like, well, I need a man that's going to be more take charge. Well, your whole energy is take charge, and I'm just letting you do your thing. And I think sometimes I'm always winning in that. I'm always
that, and I think that's a fine hairy line, right? They keep talking about
hairy.
hairy lines between being aggressive and being masculine. It's two different things. And you just aggressive with it. You aggressive.
Yeah,
with it.
anybody can be
you know what I
aggressive.
mean? That's not masculine. That's aggressive.
But then on the flip side, it's like sometimes you want attention, right? But because how men get attention is by being aggressive, being assertive, saying, hey, come here, girl, let me holler at you type energy. Mm-hmm. Well, when it's on the other side, it don't feel like, it's just kind of like, I'll tell you what, when you feel like, ooh, I want that girl, I'm going to get that girl, you just do that, right? But if you don't feel that, you're not there. And I really feel like no woman can make you like her if you're not intuitively in tune with her from the rip to where you just want to get out and get her. But I think that softness and that sweetness and that feminine energy has to be present for a man to feel that. So if it's not there, you're not going to just be like, all right, let me holler at you, because it's more or less like, what's up, big dog? You know what I'm saying? Let's go play hoops later. Like, that's the energy you putting off. So you just more or less not even thinking that.
Will you just hunt your shoulders?
Yeah.
But what's up, fam?
That's right.
They be calling the chicks be calling us bro nowadays. So that's interesting too. What's up, bro?
Interesting.
What's up, bro?
So off the rip, we decided our relationship.
So let's deal with this last question, man.
How you know what I identify with?
Uh-oh.
Right.
No, you don't know my pronouns.
Right.
You don't know my pronouns.
Right. That's mad presumptuous.
Right, man.
So we're gonna go from the solar. We was at the sacral chakra. We're gonna move down to the root chakra. I've been watching a lot of this hood behavior. Well, for some reason, my YouTube algorithm is getting like hood news for some reason, and I'm getting like hood news in Orlando, Minnesota, LA, Denver, all over the place. It's just a lot of crazy hood stuff going on out here in these streets. And I know that people in the hood is not tapped into a vegan diet. I know they eating chicken, I know they eating hamburger, and I know they eating pork on the rig 3 times a day, if not more. My question to the panel is, do you think that this food affects the attitude, energy, and vibration of the melanated people in 2021?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. There's a friend of my family's, and he was cold eating hamburgers and would take the lettuce and tomato off, right? Like he ain't like no vegetables. And bless your heart if you listening, you know who I'm talking about. I ain't gonna call you out. But he eats them now, right? He eats them now. So when people talk about a high vibration diet, there are 2 aspects of it, okay? And I'm gonna say it like this. I look at my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother, I was fortunate enough to meet her in my life. And she knew the Bible back and forth. Like kids would walk past her house on the way to school, and it would be, in them days, you was walking 3 miles in the snow uphill both ways, right? And she had this wood stove, and they would stop there and warm themselves halfway to school. And she would make them biscuits, knit gloves and stuff for the kids that didn't have enough. And sometimes them biscuits would be all them kids would have in a day. So she lived like the example of Jesus Christ, being that good neighbor. And when she passed away, people said there was more preachers at her funeral than at a preacher's funeral. And I was there. I remember it was a lot of, like, almost every nearby pastor was there. So I'm just going to say it for her. I know she wouldn't say it, but my great grandmother was definitely a holy queen mother. She ate chitlins. She ate ham, right? She ate bacon. She ate, chicken. She ate all that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna say this about it too. She prayed over it, number one. And she also came from a time where she used to kill her own chickens, right? Like you can go to the African market now in some places and buy you a live chicken and, butcher your own chicken, right? Some people don't want to kill what they eat, but they want somebody else to kill it and then eat it. So let me go back a bit. I don't think that what goes in your mouth necessarily makes you dull of spirit, but I do think how you indulge in it does. Like, if you ain't killing no chickens out here, you shouldn't be eating, 4 to 5 chickens a week, right? That's kind of like a karma. And if you are, then try butchering a chicken. Try to learn how to butcher a chicken. It'll make the process that much more meaningful to you to say, thank you, chicken, for giving me your life force, as I sit to eat, right? It's a different kind of prayer when you're praying over something that you killed and butchered and prepared, right? So I think that if you ain't butchering your own meat, you need to go easy on it. And the advice I usually give people is if you eat a handful of meat in a meal, you should have at least 2 handfuls of vegetables with it. So anyway, yeah.
And in Tantra they teach holy baseline. If one thing is holy in this world, everything is holy.
Yeah.
So then you think about the idea and understanding that energy doesn't die, right? It just transfers and transmutes, right? So that slaughter of that chicken, so that pain and that strife and that agony for that chicken and his ancestors and all 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 his ancestors. You don't think that energy went somewhere? You don't think you're incorporating that into your DNA and into your being and turning yourself into something completely different than what your construction was made out to be? You don't think the plants are just as important as you are? And it's really an inconsequential thing, like the world would strive without you on it. Just think about that. Like the world would strive without all of us on it. But the idea that we are here, we help it evolve. We help her evolve, right? So now it becomes something different, right? So now it's like you're killing just for the idea of killing. Without even acknowledging that you're killing. And then you're eating and praying to yourself for having the right to eat it, right? For years, right?
Yeah.
So if you can have a little bit of idea of a different direction of compassion in an area where you acknowledge if you could have a little bit more directional compassion in an area where you can acknowledge the idea that those things are beings just like you, and the conceptualization to think that you know what that being can take and not take by killing them over and over again and just eating them just because, like, to not acknowledge that and not act like they exist. They were created too. You can't say the creator created them just for you to eat them. So he created one thing to kill another thing. Think about it. He created one thing to kill another thing. No, the things that you consume are supposed to, they come right back out of you, and then they keep going like that. That's how it's supposed to go. because you are a part of the thing that you walk on.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get to 0 point and you realize how insignificant you could be and you are supposed to be in order for you to understand how massive you actually are, then you can acknowledge that they exist here too for a reason. And something tells me it's not to be on your dinner plate.
You mean to tell me Porky ain't for me to eat his asshole? You mean to tell me I ain't supposed to eat Porky Pig's asshole? You mean to tell me I ain't supposed to
They
eat
call that
pig?
calamari, sir.
Listen, I thought I was supposed to eat asshole every day.
It's trouble.
The only thing I hear about from the shamans and the rishis is they ate an animal when they got in real bad weather and real bad circumstances when they had to, or when they had to heal a wound. Like those are the only times, or when they needed coding for the weather. Like that's the only time they injured animals. Otherwise, they live with the animals.
And just like the Native Americans, just like the tribal folks in South America and Africa, they use the whole damn animal. The whole animal, the hide, the bone, and gave thanks to the spirit.
It was a whole ritual before. It was
before anybody ate anything.
Ancestors before. It was a whole acknowledging that bloodline before. It was everything.
Yeah.
I want to acknowledge your existence. I'm about to take you out, and we're going to do what we want with you. We're going to acknowledge you was here.
So at least acknowledge the life force that gave up its body, for you to have that meal,
For your
Some people don't even think about that.
Yeah, you performed a ritual for your ritual. Like eating is a ritual. When a man told me you could live for 40 days without food and on just water, like you don't get to tell me I need that chicken.
Yeah.
Them 11 herbs and spices, though, man.
And let's do this. Everybody, let's go eat chicken with no seasoning.
Oh.
Man.
But I love chicken so much, but I can't eat it without seasoning. Well, you don't love the chicken and you love the seasoning. Throw that on some cauliflower and call it a day.
My wife took that. There's like somebody published at one point most of those herbs and spices minus the MSG, and she does that with fried tofu, and that joint tastes so good.
It's bomb. Bomb.
You right. You in love with that flavor, not the carrier of it.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, what you think?
I mean, just kind of like what all the other topics is so real. I mean, per se, I've been playing around with my diet probably like for 10, 11 years. Spending time, consider myself vegan, consider myself raw vegan, or like going back to meat, whatever. Like these days, I don't consider myself vegan. I don't eat meat.
I don't. Listen, boy, getting that good gristle in you.
I don't eat meat, but I ain't perfect. Like I'm out in this world and I do what I do. But
picking coochie hairs to pop between your teeth. Give me a toothpick.
He said no, man. He said no. He's still young. Give him some time. Give him some time.
Wait. Hold on. Time for what? I don't need too much. All right. So.
Itadakimasu.
Stories about my family, right? Like my mom, she grew up on a farm. Like they grew up, raising livestock, for different purposes, and they lived on the land, like they grew their own plants and all that. But on the weekends they might eat meat, and they had a nice peaceful life on that farm. I'll say this: my dad, grew up in the projects, depending on food, on what the government gave him.
Mm-hmm.
And all my dad's stories is about violence and my uncle shooting into the house because stuff going, stuff like that. Like I was a very angry, confused. Like as a kid, I had all these emotions and all this stuff. I needed this pent up aggression. I needed to get out. It changed when I changed my diet. You know, whether it was a spiritual change, a physical change, and the dietary stuff that I'm putting in my body. All of that had to do something with it. I learned that I have more control over myself, over my emotions, over that aggression and things like that when I stopped putting certain things in my body. Very recently, I did eat some beef recently. It was the first time in a long time. And the moment I ate that beef, I was like, you know, to y'all's point earlier, it's like, you know, it's one thing if that you know, that cow was taken care of and raised right away and prayed over, things like that. I know that this cow was not, because I ate that beef and about 15 minutes later, I felt like I just felt this anxiety in my body. Wow. I knew that cow didn't go out in a gracious way. I wanted to throw up, but I couldn't throw up. It wasn't, but like I just had like my whole body was just like, I just felt like this, and I was like, yeah, that's why I don't do this, you know. And I thought back to like, you know, as a kid, I grew up eating Burger King damn near every day, like that's why I was like that, you know, like me thinking, not like blaming nothing, but like. I'm glad I am where I am now, and just understanding the importance of what I'm putting into my body, and you know, and it is important. And like, you know, a lot of people be like, you talking like, you know, eating, being a vegan and all this. And like I said, I don't consider myself a vegan per se, but you know, they'd be like, that's expensive and stuff like that. No,
not as expensive as losing your health.
Them hospital bills is expensive.
Right, shit.
And trust me, I've been broke as broke could be. You can you know, potatoes. Like you could, like, not saying that's all you should eat, but like you can make it work if you ain't got it like that, like without putting that crap, you know, from this fast food chain.
If it's the summertime and you got $5, you can get a good watermelon. Shoot.
Yeah. Big facts.
Bag of carrots.
You can make it work, and it's so real. Like it affects what you put in your body. Like everybody said, it affects your emotions. It affects, you know, your body. It affects your day. That affects your life, and you know, that's everything. So yeah, that's my piece.
If you're stressed out, it's probably because you're eating that stressful ass beef, but I digress. I hope y'all enjoyed this show today, man. It's been very enlightening, very eye-opening. You know, very rarely do you have melanated brothers talking about reincarnation and those past lifetimes where they was Alan Watts and Krishnamurti and Nietzsche and all of this fly shit. Y'all some fly spiritual brothers up on here just living regular lives. You know, it's not, you know, a super califragilistic type experience more than it is kissing your kids on the forehead as they go off to daycare and realizing that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. What I'm saying is, it is the little things that allow us to see our deeper and most spiritual expression. And if we're looking on these camera screens and YouTube videos and Instagram posts for sublime gnosis and the utmost of nirvana and bliss, we might miss out on it, because what we have realized through this careful examination and careful work is that the soul is within you, and the development of this might take conversations on a weekly basis. And this is why we hold this space for melanated men and women to reference their development and growth on this chakra journey. So if you find yourself wanting to share, you know, we pull up every Thursday, getting back on schedule. and we have conversations in reference to chakras, shadow, spiritual development, and incorporating it into our regular life. I think that's a necessity, with no entertainment, no shucking, no jiving, just real spiritual, divine, masculine chop ups with no frizzies or no frills. No, if you join this scam, you'll get this scheme, and from this scheme, you'll live this dream. No, we here doing the work and just understanding our spiritual past life energy. And if it may seem like we're not doing shit for you, guess what? We're not. You got to do it for yourself. So, you know, maybe you've never heard that before. Maybe you expect me to say for $59.99 I can solve all your problems and hustle you up, but we just choosing not to do that. With all that being said, Chakra Nova is available in stores. ColumbianExchange.com. Shadow Work course, the handbook will be sent out to you guys next week. So be on the lookout for that. Guys, give us some parting words. Tell people where they can find you on IG, Instagram, or OnlyFans. Serpent, let them know.
Sacred_serpent0823 on Instagram, and Racine Maurice on Facebook, and Sacred Serpent Media 0823 on Facebook and Instagram as well. So
Snickers on OnlyFans.
Snickers. I am Snickers on Thursday. I am Snickers on Thursday. That's 8 a.m. That's 8 a.m.
Oh, snap.
Yes, and I do got clear heels. I do got clear.
Them clear heels, the platform clear joints. Go ahead with the little scuff marks on the side because you stripping in the hood.
With the butterfly collar. With the butterfly collar. The high bell bottom joints. Yeah.
Hey, don't let the money change you, Serpent. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, Snickers.
You know, you got that joint from the polyester rack. You know what I'm saying? He came out the joint looking like Jerome. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Mm-hmm. That's what you gonna get in public from me. You gonna know not to ask me for no money. You like, you ain't got nothing. Like, you ain't gotta act that hard now. This is really me, shorty. Like, this is
That's
really
dope.
I said that wrong.
I don't even care no more. I already did that. I took care of her my whole life. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I would like to see the other side. No, I don't even care about the other side. I'm just saying, like, I'm indifferent to that whole concept. Like, I would just like, you know, a mate.
Listen, I'm on my Tabitha Brown husband shit. I want my wife to take care of me. I want to retire and have my wife
I'm mad at you.
Pay for everything.
I'm not judging either.
I'm on my Tabitha Brown, family. That's all I'm gonna say. Tabitha Brown said she made enough money so her husband could retire. I said, them is goals right there.
Those is goals.
He was a police officer.
Yeah,
Take care of me. Take care of me, man.
Was good though. I'm about to go jump. Pull up on me. Pull up on me.
Instagram.
Awesome home tab.
That he is. Any more? Find me g.elijah144 on Instagram. See what I'm up to. Follow my business account, Elijah Green 144. Check out my website, www.elijah-green.com. Depending on if I'm keyed out or not, y'all don't like buying stuff off the website. Y'all just want to pick me up. So we'll see how that goes.
Stay consistent.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I'm still shadow work. Talking out loud. Yeah, if you're in DC or Virginia, you like greens, holla at your boy. I've got apparel as well. You want caps? I got all this stuff, caps, t-shirts, stuff like that. Yeah, and just support the movement hood, everything going on. Check out Chakra Nova. Check out get the Shadow Work course. Again, just thankful for the space. Really appreciate everybody taking their time to hear me out and hearing us. And yeah, I'm just thankful. Just happy to be.
The ladies are waiting.
Peace. It's, you can reach me on Instagram, prime.harmonic. That's also my Gmail, but I'll probably look at Instagram DM before I check my email account. And I don't have no website yet. You know, might see. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing about that, but that's how to reach me for now. And my only parting word is don't be triggered by the word work, because a lot of people don't like to work because it has such a negative connotation in our ancestry and in our own families. You better go to work, or if you want to stay in this house, you know, right? But this is different. So let go of whatever concept you have when you hear people talking about, especially Dreamwise. Shout out to Dreamwise. He loves repeating that Hemet, you know, fuck woke, do work, right? So this is the work. The work is working on your inner perception, and there is only reward. So don't be afraid of the work. In DC, we used to have a saying. I don't know if they still say it. Elijah, you could help me out with that. We used to say, work ain't hard, you know, when somebody told us we had to do something. And that was our saying, work ain't hard. So stop being triggered by that word and get to work. But, you know, if you want to make it fun and make it play, then go ahead and do that. But just do it. Just do it. Yeah.
I just was reflecting on just all of the different places that melanated people are at, and all of the multitude of stories and energies and layers and ancestors and slick dick willies and whole Harriets out there in the world, and we just here in this moment,
why
you know,
bring slick dick in here?
because it's a slick dick willie in every neighborhood, you know. That, you know, slick dick willie is in every neighborhood. So, you know, to all the slick dick willies and all of the host Sallys out there, you know, we love you here at the Chakra Nova family. All of the Tataliciouses, all of the Snickers, all of the baby dolls, China dolls, Asian dolls,